Call the meeting to order. Please call the roll.
Councilman McDaniel.
Present.
Councilman Horn.
Present.
Councilman Colt.
Here.
Councilman Cooper.
Here.
Councilwoman Gregory.
Present.
Councilwoman Cruz.
Here.
Mayor Moore Wolf.
Present.
7 present, none absent.
Please stand and join in the Pledge of Allegiance. We do have a proclamation tonight. If I could have Nikki Fenderson from the Decatur about Decatur Charter School Week come to the podium.
Good evening. It is Decatur Robertson Charter School. Thank you for having us here, Mayor Wolf and City Council. So, official proclamation, City of Decatur, whereas Illinois charter schools have been authorized by Illinois State Legislature, and whereas since 1996, Illinois charter schools offer new choices and accountability in public education. And whereas Illinois now has 141 individual charter school campuses, serving more than 64,710 students, an all-time high. And whereas there are currently 3.7 million charter school students in the United States, with 96.4 students attending charter schools are children of color. The growth rate of charter school students is over 100% in the past 10 years. And whereas Robertson Charter School of Decatur is one of those pioneering charter schools with 320 students providing quality education since 2001. Now, therefore, I, Julie Moore Wolf, Mayor of the City of Decatur, do hereby proclaim May 11th to May 15th, 2026 as Decatur Charter School Week.
If you bring that up, I'm happy to sign it for you. I have to tell you, you have some great kids at your school. I've had the chance to go and read with them before, and they're just wonderful kids.
Excuse my voice, I'm dealing with sinus and allergy.
And I just can't speak tonight, so.
The wind
And the dust.
City Council member Consuela coming this Friday to speak with some of our students on politics. So excited for that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And now we move to appearance of citizens. The policy relative to appearance of citizens is as follows. A 30-minute time period is provided for citizens to appear and express their views before the City Council. Each citizen speaking will be limited to one appearance of up to 3 minutes. No immediate response will be given by City Council or City staff members. Citizens are to give their documents, if any, to the police officer for distribution to the Council. When the Mayor determines that all persons wishing to speak in accordance with this policy have done so, members of the City Council and key staff may make comments. Does anyone wish to appear before council tonight? If so, please come to the podium. You need to give us your name, but we don't need an address.
Good evening, Mayor Wolf and City Council members. I'm Lisa Kitchens, HR Manager at ADM, focusing on workforce development. And I am joined by Rocky Wilkerson, as well as Andrew Jordan, representing Workforce, and Mueller's, to speak on behalf of our Prairie Land Fame chapter that we introduced to the Decatur area. Our program provides a unique program that aims to inspire the next generation of skilled manufacturing professionals through a collaborative approach that combines industry-driven education and hands-on experience. Our goal ultimately is to bridge the gap between education and industry, ensuring that our students are not only job ready, but also equipped to drive innovation within the manufacturing sector. ADM is absolutely thrilled to be among the partnering organizations to help this chapter of Prairie Land Fame continue to grow. Caterpillar, Mueller, GSI, and Stratus Foods are also part of this chapter and membership. At ADM, we of course believe in the concept of shared creation. We work to sustain and strengthen our commitment to the communities where we work, live, and operate by driving social, economic, and environmental progress. We believe this partnership is a major step forward in supporting regional economic development in Central Illinois and helping build the next generation of manufacturing professionals in Macon County and surrounding Central Illinois communities. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Kitchens.
Good evening, Mayor Wolf, council members. My name is Rocky Wilkerson. I'm the Executive Director of Workforce Investment Solutions, and we are so excited to be a part of this new FAME chapter here in Central Illinois. And I just want to tell you a little bit about the collaboration and the partnership. It started in November of 2024. We partnered with ADM and Richland Community College to build this chapter and to establish the pipeline of skilled professionals. We wanted to meet the standards of the evolving manufacturing industry in Central Illinois. We started out with 3 employers and 8 students, and now we are actively recruiting a new student cohort, and we now have 5 employers, so we are growing, which is exciting. We're thrilled to offer an educational pathway for our students, not only to evolve with the manufacturing landscape, but to align with the industry demands here in Central Illinois. Over the last 2 years, we have been supporting regional economic development in Central Illinois and contributing to the innovation of Central Illinois manufacturing sector. Prairie Land stands for the Federation for Advanced Manufacturing Education. I always think it's nice to know what the acronym stands for. Prairie Land provides a unique program. It aims to inspire the next generation of skilled professionals. The collaborative approach that combines the industry and the gap between skills, ensuring that our students are not just only job ready, but also equipped to drive innovation within the manufacturing sector. This is what we call Earn and Learn. This is an Earn and Learn training program. Prairie Land FAME offers a pathway for high school students to achieve an associate's degree, more specifically an Associates of Applied Science in Engineering Technology from Richland Community College. At the same time, the students will work 3 days a week, earning $18 or more an hour. This will require 5 semesters and 65 credit hours. By fostering this partnership with companies such as ADM and Mueller's and working alongside with Richland Community College, we are ensuring that the academic curriculums and training are aligned with the specific needs of the national registration manufacturing industry. This is providing students with relevant and up-to-date skills. This is just an example of the kind of partnerships that Workforce Investment Solution thrives on, educating one student at a time while building a future workforce. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Andrew Jordan, and I serve as the president of the Prairie Land FAME chapter. I also work at Mueller as part of the engineering team, and I have the honor for Mueller to be the mentor for the student that we are sponsoring. And I just wanted to kind of give the council kind of an overview, a 30,000-foot view of what that student is involved in at Mueller. So, like I said, I'm part of the engineering team. My team runs our research and development lab, so we're working on the newest products. But we have now this Prairie Land FAME student who is interested in manufacturing, a graduate of Meridian High School, and he has been able to get very hands-on with machining, with the latest technology, and really learn engineering at a very early age. So it's been an awesome opportunity for this student in particular, but also Mueller. You know, as one of Decatur's oldest companies, we are very excited to be a part of this program. So, yeah, I just wanted to give you guys an overview of kind of what these students can expect and what they can do, and some of the opportunities that we can open for them through this program. Thank you. Also, Lisa, Rocky, and I will be around for questions afterwards if anybody has questions. So.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Jordan. Does anyone else wish to appear before council? Sure. Come on down.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, and staff. I am Zane Peterson, Managing Broker of Main Place Properties, and here on behalf of Merchant Street South LLC in preface of an amendment that's on the agenda tonight for a repurpose of a TIF agreement. The TIF agreement was entered into May of 2024, and for the East Main building, it was going to remain office, and due to the current climate of office in the downtown market and in Decatur as a whole, this is a crucial pivot point to change and repurpose the building into multifamily residential use. Obviously, housing is a nationwide issue, and Decatur's no different. In 2023, the EDC and the City of Decatur enabled a housing study by Danter and Associates showing a 680-unit shortage, including 440 quality market rate apartments. So this project will help put a dent into that, and hopefully it will spur further housing and support downtown retail activity. There's certainly a rent gap due to rising construction costs and rental rates, and programs like TIF helps developers like us make projects like this happen. So we greatly appreciate the support. And once again, on behalf of Merchant Street South and Main Place Properties, we respectfully ask you to support the amendment in the repurpose of the 148-160 East Main building.
Thank you, Mr. Peterson.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. I'm Steve Funk. I'm a lifelong resident of Decatur, and we always hear about boosting our economy and jobs. And I was just wondering, since we were the original home of the Chicago Bears, did the city even think about putting a package together of bringing the Chicago Bears back to Decatur? Because if Hammond, Indiana could do it, I think we could do it. Because if you build it, they will come. That's all.
Thank you, sir. Does anyone else wish to appear before council tonight?
Good evening. Gary Fike. I was here last month, asked the question about the $20,000 to $30,000 we gave the old city manager. Nobody, you said you would answer it before the thing was in. Nobody ever did. What's happened to the $20,000 or $30,000? Did the citizens get it back, or does he still have it, or somebody else sharing it? So,
I'm sorry that we didn't get a response to you. We respond after everybody's done with questions.
young lady, I was here till the end of the thing last month. Nobody ever responded. Somebody's, listen, I'll make a motion, we adjourn. Second, you guys have gone out of here quicker than a jackrabbit. Nobody ever got a response from anything you said. So is that going to be another one? I'm going to feel my getting blown up because you guys don't answer questions. You guys do everything behind closed doors, but you don't let anybody know up front.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Does anyone else wish to appear before council tonight?
Good evening, Council. I'm Ann Owens. So I wanted to let you know that unexpectedly I got an early morning phone call on Saturday morning. While I had a lot of plans, most of which were at Milliken, and some other things that were duties that were pre-planned, I was happy to take two people that took a 6-hour drive to get here from Tennessee, and they wanted to tour some of our West End houses. So I took them on a tour. They went to the Oglesby, and we drove around neighborhoods, and we looked, and let me tell you, I think sometimes we, as people who live here, some of us live in the West End, forget how thankful and grateful we should be for our beautiful neighborhood and beautiful Milliken University. They were extremely impressed. It was a husband and wife. They thought it looked very quaint. They were impressed with how many, they noticed little things like the expensive clay tile roofs on a lot of our West End homes, things like that. So I do want to point that out. I will also make a note that this morning, History of the Heartland, we got a message from one of the North Cobb residents with a copy of the letter from Mr. Newell, and their lighting is going to be taken away, the traditional beautiful lighting, and it's going to be subbed with just regular lighting. Apparently, the neighbors were told it would cost $150,000 extra to rehab the lights that are there. So I'm just going to point out, in the past, this council, minus Mrs. Cruz, has voted $20,000 to do a garage study, $20,000 here, $20,000 here. So all of that could have been added up to actually provide the lighting on Cobb Street and keep it traditional. I also want to point out May 16th and 17th begins our Historic Preservation Week. So between tonight and the end of this month, I'm proud to say we will have 26 projects, which include open houses, they include announcements. You will get to see our limited edition penny. And so there's a lot going on in Decatur that does happen to be historic preservation. We have a lot of pride in this community, and that includes Milligan University.
Thank you, Ms. Owens. Is there anyone else who wishes to appear?
Good evening, Mayor, Council. My name is Brett Robertson. I'm the chairman of History of the Heartland. I serve on the CONO board as well. And as we look at the big challenge facing Decatur, it's population decline. We all know that, and we're all working hard. We all want to turn that situation around. And there's many things that we can and are doing to accomplish that. In every single neighborhood, the more we can do to do little things to make our neighborhoods look better. Those all can contribute to pride that citizens can feel and can create a more inviting environment for people who may be considering moving to the city. Certainly some of the things we talked about tonight that were discussed, workforce development is essential. Traditionally, one of the great strengths of Decatur was a well-trained workforce that was available to the city's industry, and so those investments are very important. And our schools are very important. We all know that our public schools need to be improved, but the whole portfolio of our schools, our charter schools, our private schools, are probably more important than they've ever been to create a wide variety of opportunities for people who may want to move here and have schools that they're willing to send their children to attend. And we can't forget that the financial equation is important. Now, this year, you held the line on property taxes, and high property taxes are a barrier to home ownership. They're a barrier to business investment in the community. And so by holding the line on property taxes, it was an important move. The county has done that now for 2 years. And the big challenge there in that particular area is the other taxable bodies did not follow suit. So the Park District raised their tax levy by 7%. And the schools raised theirs significantly as well. So I hope that all of you can influence your peers on those other leadership boards so we can have a consistent policy. And hopefully, over the next several years, if we can hold the line on taxes, on property taxes, we can become the lowest tax rate of peer communities within Central Illinois, and that will become yet another element that will be attractive to prospective employers and prospective citizens. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Robertson. Are there others who wish to speak before council tonight? Okay, seeing none, we will, any response from council? Mr. McDaniel?
Steve, thank you for bringing that up about the bears. The mayor, the city manager, and I were in a meeting over in Springfield this last week when a state senator said, Decatur was the first home of the bears. Why don't we see if they can get the stadium here? He said it'd have to be extra large and that. Well, they're having problems with Arlington getting a good deal for that property. So it'd be nice, but I have a better chance of growing hair again than that happening. So, but thanks for your input.
Any other comments? To the gentleman who was inquiring, and I would need to check, I believe we are bound by confidentiality with a separation agreement, but I'm not 100% sure on that, but I will try to get you an answer. Okay, moving on to approval of the minutes.
Approval of minutes of April 20, 2026 City Council meeting. I need a motion and a second.
So moved.
Second.
Councilman McDaniel.
Aye.
Councilman Horn.
Aye.
Councilman Cole.
Abstain.
Councilman Cooper.
Aye.
Councilwoman Gregory.
Aye.
Councilwoman Cruz.
Aye.
Mayor Morewolf.
Aye.
6 ayes, 1 abstention.
Can we see if there's another microphone for Councilwoman Cruz? It's going to make it very hard to hear her. Maybe you can share with Mr. Okay, switch him down. Thank you. Do we have any unfinished business?
None.
Moving into new business, item 1, ordinance authorizing amendment to TIF redevelopment agreement by and between the City of Decatur and Merchant Street South, LLC.
Motion that the ordinance do pass and be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Hahn?
Thank you, Mayor and Council. This is yet another exciting housing project this one coming to downtown Decatur, and I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Economic and Community Development Director Lacey Elzy to talk a little bit more about the details of this project.
Good evening. This agreement before you is an amendment to an original agreement that was made May of 2024 for specifically the Flora Gyms building and the Giggles building downtown. The only items that are changing from the original agreement is a time extension. So the original time period was 18 months, and we are asking for an additional 12 months to be able to finish the new proposed construction of 10 multifamily units in place or in replacement of what would have been additional office space. To date, the developer has already invested approximately $898,000 into the Flora Gyms property, redeveloping that. They've demonstrated a strong commitment to the reinvestment in downtown, and we have confidence that they will maintain that through this amendment. And this amendment does align with the city's 2026 to 2029 community revitalization plan, and as Zane said, the housing study. So we are excited to bring this forward tonight.
Questions or comments from council? Seeing none?
Councilman McDaniel.
Aye.
Councilman Horn.
Aye.
Councilman Colt.
Aye.
Councilman Cooper.
Aye.
Councilwoman Gregory.
Aye.
Councilwoman Cruz.
Aye.
Mayor Morewolf.
Aye.
7 ayes, no nays.
Item 2, resolution authorizing payment under an agreement for technical planning services between the Decatur Urban Area Transportation Study, DUATS, and the Champaign County Regional Planning Commission.
Motion that the resolution do pass and be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
City Manager?
Thank you, Mayor and Council. I would just offer that I think this is a really creative way that staff came up with a solution for something that needed to be completed in our area. So go ahead and turn it back to Lacey.
Hi. This item authorizes a technical planning agreement for a comprehensive bus stop assessment through DUATS, which is the Decatur Urbanized Transportation Study. We need this because, as you know, transit has changed drastically in the last 3 years. We have realigned some of our fixed routes, and then we've implemented microtransit. So the kind of phase 3 of this would be to be able to do a comprehensive bus stop study, find what stops are being used and which are no longer being used, and where we need additional stops at. This will also have an ADA component so that if existing stops are staying, we are ensuring that those are up to ADA compliance. And this is a great roadmap where we'll be able to decide where improvements are needed most, and then it puts us in a strong position for future funding assistance. And also, I'd like to note that the Champaign Regional Planning Commission will be utilizing 2 local interns, paid internships in Decatur. We've already connected them to Richland Community College and Millikan University. At this time, I'll take any questions.
Comments or questions from council? Quiet group tonight. Call the question, please.
Councilman McDaniel.
Aye.
Councilman Horn.
Aye.
Councilman Culp.
Aye.
Councilman Cooper.
Aye.
Councilwoman Gregory.
Aye.
Councilwoman Cruz.
Aye.
Mayor Morwolf.
Aye.
7 ayes, no nays.
Item 3, resolution of the City of Decatur in support of Municipal Housing Authority.
Motion that the resolution do pass and be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Hahn?
Thank you, Mayor and Council. As Council is aware, but more for the public, there has recently been a proposal at the state level which aims to assist in the housing shortage and affordability issues. While I think, we're all very excited about the proposals to assist in any way with housing, because we all know that there's a strong need for housing in our community, this current proposal would take away local authority for zoning and land use. And so this resolution before you tonight is stating that we are supporting retaining that local authority for our land use and zoning. As you're all aware, with the revitalization plan, part of that is the update to our comprehensive plan and our zoning ordinance. And as part of that comprehensive plan, there is a very extensive outreach process as part of that. And so we would be looking for community input. If the state were to enact those regulations over our density, our parking, our lot size, what's allowed for ADUs and other types of dwelling units and residential zoning, it could take away that local input component because that would preempt anything here locally if it were decided at the state level. So as I said, that resolution before you tonight is just stating that the city wishes to retain our local authority over land use and zoning.
Comments and questions from council? Pat?
Having attended along with the city manager and the mayor this last week, the Illinois Municipal League Lobby Day, that was a hot topic. We spoke to several senators spoke, and they said there's a lot they're looking at. It's going to make some changes. But again, this is another power grab by the state. They're already taking a bunch of our funding from municipalities, and unfunded mandates are constantly coming our way. So as far as I know, I think many other communities are totally opposed to this. So I hope the council will pass this. At least we have a voice over there. If we don't pass this, they say, well, they don't care. Well, we care.
Other comments? Dr. Horn?
A couple of questions, then comments. First question is, we have a lobbying firm, I believe it's Mercury. Do they lobby state legislators on issues such as these? And has the city of Decatur approached our lobbying firm about this?
We do have a lobbying firm that we work with. As you're correct, that's Mercury. They could, if we asked them to reach out. We have had discussions about the need for housing, not this specifically, just because we know that IML has been doing a lot on this front and have been involved in those conversations.
So if I just understand it, we already pay a lobbyist and they do lobby the state legislature. Second question, the IML comes up with a weekly update on issues, and the IML has proposed what we might call counter proposals to what's being proposed at the state level. Are we going to find ourselves in a position that 2 weeks from now at our next meeting, we're going to be advocating for the IML's proposals?
I can't speak to that because I'm not sure what could come. So, I mean, if they came up with a proposal that council wanted to support, there could be a resolution in the future. But I think really with this, we're not saying that we're opposed to finding ways to increase housing. This is just saying that we want to retain our local authority for land use and zoning.
Mr. Horn.
Yeah, so I've got some comments. Thank you for answering the question. In my view, the Decatur City Council should not interject itself into these types of issues that are being discussed at the state legislature in this manner. There are already outlets for city council members to lobby, including phone calls, emails, letters, meeting with representatives, and participation in public hearings. We already have a lobbying firm that we pay for these types of issues. When we were in the midst of the COVID pandemic, the council really was mute when it came to state policy. During deliberations of the Safety Act, the council really was mute as the state was deliberating those. I think it's fair to say that there are other significant state issues that the council could be involved in, but we have chosen not to be. This particular area of increasing availability in housing, the city absolutely needs assistance with. And I think that there are ways that we can benefit the city and its residents by working more closely with the state and the IML in revising and the proposals that perhaps are coming to the state legislature, as opposed to simply saying no to this particular build legislation. I also think that the resolution itself makes a claim that I disagree with. It states, the City of Decatur reiterates that community-led policies for land use and zoning are not causing a crisis of housing affordability and availability. And I would argue that absolutely the city does have a housing availability issue, and that it is partly a result of our current zoning laws, many of which have not changed for decades. And so before we're going to blame the state for wanting to have some proposals on how we can have greater housing availability, perhaps we could, we should look inwardly at ourselves and what we can do. I mean, the city has a zoning commission, but if you look at what the zoning commission has done in this particular year, essentially they've done two things. They rezoned a property from one type of zone to another type of zone, and later this month, they're going to be potentially approving someone to have a garage on a side lot. And so the real conversations about zoning and housing availability, the city is not having. And I just think this is the wrong approach.
Councilman McDaniel.
Mayor, we've already been informed by our city manager and city staff. They're working on zones. We brought it up many times. So there's going to be some changes in the zones. We are working on it. It'll come back to us, and then we can look. We have to approve it. So it's been mentioned before to all of us that they are working on zones.
And I will say, I have followed the state legislature for the better part of the last 40 years. And I have never, I've seen a lot of things, but I've never seen the kind of overreach into local communities that this is. I far more trust the people on our zoning board and our plan commission to make the best decisions about land use to bring to this council if needed than I trust some bureaucrat in Chicago or Springfield. We have vastly different needs in different parts of the state. You know, the villages of Chicago, the Chicago suburbs, the southern Illinois parts of our state, and central Illinois and Decatur, we have different needs than Champaign might. And I would prefer that it is people who are appointed to our boards, our citizens that serve on these boards, that make these kinds of decisions, not just some one-size-fits-all approach, because that doesn't work. And so I fully respect our need for housing. We're seeing some tonight in the action that Mr. Peterson and his company are taking. We are working on a number of issues. But having the state in charge, I don't think is the best idea at all. So, other comments? Mr. Cooper?
Thank you, Mayor. I'm inclined to believe that based on the resolution, I think is out of place for us to act on. As Dr. Horn has indicated earlier, there's other similar type of discussions we had in the past about a resolution dealing with some issues, and we did choose to say no, we weren't going to get into the middle of those. And I think this is the same type of situation. I think there's a lot of this information we just got on Friday, and I think it's obviously a serious concern for our city and other cities as well. And from reading what I could read and information I could get just over the last 3 days, there is obviously support for it, and there's a lot of cities that are not supporting it, but it's kind of mixed. Those that are supporting it and those that are not supporting it. So I think it's too early to determine without all the information and all the feedback to take a position. I also think it's not our job to take that position. The position appears to be more political than anything else, and I don't see it as our job to be taking political positions. I agree with Dr. Horn that we do have a lobby firm, and I think our zoning boards and commissions, if they got feedback that they want to provide for this issue, then they should contact our lobby firm and let that feedback go through the lobby firm over to the state legislators or whomever. I don't think our council should take a vote on this particular matter. So that's kind of where I stand at it.
Any other comments? Seeing none, please call the question.
Councilman McDaniel.
Aye.
Councilman Horn.
Nay.
Councilman Colt.
Aye.
Councilman Cooper.
Nay.
Councilwoman Gregory.
Aye.
Councilwoman Cruz.
Nay.
Mayor Morwolf.
Aye.
4 ayes, 3 nays.
And that brings us to the city manager update. Ms. Hahn?
Thank you again, Mayor and Council. We've got some new Decatur patrol officers that were sworn in on April 29th, 2026. So very excited to have them on board now, and I'm going to try to get through names without butchering them all. We've got Braxton Barnes, Camden Dowers, Blake Dulgar, Justin Garrison, Maya Houston, Brett Barger, Camden Miller, Cody Powell, Alexis Stowlitz, and Jeffrey Williver. So happy to have them as part of our Decatur Police Department. And then we've got a couple more new hires: Ryan Fleming, equipment operator, Public Works Water Services, and Amonte Davis, a transit utility worker in the Economic Community Development Transportation Services Division. And then wanted to highlight our Touch a Truck equipment show for Public Works Appreciation Week, which will be before the next City Council meeting from 4 to 6 p.m. outside of the Civic Center on May 18th. That's it.
Okay, thank you for that report. And I'm sorry that I missed the swearing in for the police officers, but we were, as Councilman McDaniel mentioned, we were in Springfield quite a bit last week. That brings us to the consent calendar. Does anyone on council wish to remove any of the items for individual consideration? Mr. Horn?
D.
Anyone else? Mr. Cooper?
B.
Okay, looks like that's it.
Item A, resolution authorizing action regarding unsafe structures. Item C, resolution authorizing supplement number 2 to the local public agency agreement for federal participation with AECOM Technical Services, Inc., Section 09-00933-01-BR. Item E, resolution amending grant agreement between the State of Illinois, Illinois Environmental Protection Agency, and the City of Decatur. I need a motion to approve the items as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Councilman McDaniel.
Aye.
Councilman Horn.
Aye.
Councilman Colt.
Aye.
Councilman Cooper.
Aye.
Councilwoman Gregory.
Aye.
Councilwoman Cruz.
Aye.
Mayor Marwolf.
Aye.
7 ayes, no nays. Resolution authorizing Lake Decatur Watershed Farmland Conservation Program agreement for waterway and sediment control basin improvements with Flatland Farms Craycroft LLC. Motion that the resolution do pass and be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Horn?
Couple of questions. Does the city have enough funding to provide resources such as cost shares to every applicant?
And you're asking in reference to this specific program?
Right. So we've had these agreements with multiple owners over the past few years. My question is, does every landowner who has property that they want to enroll in some sort of watershed management protection program, does every applicant receive funding from the city, or is there competition for these cost share agreements?
Going to call up our Public Works Director, Matt Newell.
Boy, this is close. Mayor, members of council, we budget roughly $1 million a year to work in the watershed. I would say over the past, this year is the first year that we anticipate spending almost all of that. In the past, it has not been quite as popular. So I guess an answer to the question is so far we have been able to fund everyone who warrants funding. Now, some people may request funding, and upon looking at at what they're proposing and what we propose to do would really not impact the watershed that much. So we don't fund everybody that asks, but I would say that we have been able to fund all of the ones that we feel will impact the watershed.
Okay. So just to follow up, assuming that a threshold is made, right, that it's going to have some positive impact in terms of watershed protection, at least to date, everyone who's applied has been able to receive funding.
That is my understanding, yes.
Any other questions? Seeing none?
Councilman McDaniel.
Aye.
Councilman Horn.
Aye.
Councilman Colt.
Aye.
Councilman Cooper.
Aye.
Councilwoman Gregory.
Aye.
Councilwoman Cruz.
Aye.
Mayor Marwolf.
Aye.
7 ayes, no nays. Resolution authorizing the renewal of the interagency agreement with the Illinois State Police and the Sheriff of McLean County, Illinois, for the Illinois Trafficking Enforcement Group Task Force. Motion the resolution do pass and be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Cooper?
Yes, Chief, maybe, can you, how long has this agreement been in place? I know we're doing an extension now, but how long prior to us doing this?
You last approved it, well, you entered into it for the first time, July 7th, 2025.
So my only concern I had regarding this after reading through the resolution was that the language was changed, that on future extensions, it won't, if any extensions, it won't come back to the city council, that it's going to give the city manager the authorization to approve without city council's approval. Since it is so new agreement, and with the agencies that's involved, I just think it's prudent that we continue, bring at least another, I think it's a 2-year one that we're going into now. I think it's going to be 2 years.
The current agreement tonight is for 2 years.
2 years,
yes.
correct. That, I think after that 2 years, we should at least bring it back one more time for city council's approval before we just open it up for the city council not to review.
And I can comment to that as well. As I stated in my response earlier, if there were substantive changes, I would bring that before council. But there are no resources allocated to this agreement other than the staffing of the detective. So if we were to start to fund or do anything like that, a budget amendment would have to come back before council, or if we made, like I said, substantive changes, we would bring that back to council. So it was really just to create efficiency, since this is something we've already been a part of and it is grant funded.
How much staff time is involved in this? The one staff member?
Well, we've dedicated one full-time detective
Full-time,
to
correct.
the task force.
Okay, so-
That's his full-time job now.
Okay, thank you. So that's my concern is that we talk all the time where you've come in chief, and maybe not you as much directly now, you just became chief, but the prior chiefs saying how short-staffed they were on officers, and there's things that they couldn't cover in the city because of the shortness. So I'm just concerned that there may be things that need to get covered, and this might be a position that is not beneficial if we need that body out on the street. So that's why I think it's important, but.
The detective is assigned at our liberty outside of this agreement. So at any time, we can pull that detective back. They're assigned as a task force officer. The agreement was just for the city of Decatur to be partnership in the task force and the running of the policy board and the kind of the decision making. But we can bring that detective back at any time if something changes or we had to have that extra staff.
Dr. Horn?
Chief, so this is a human trafficking enforcement group. I mean, DPD has been involved in enforcing crimes that involve human trafficking prior to this task force. Is that fair to say?
At some times, but not as aggressively as
Okay.
this task force is trying to combat the problem.
So there was already times where you would have a detective involved in human trafficking cases?
Occasionally, yes, but this was formed to bring attention to the problem and tackle it, not just in Decatur, but statewide.
Any other questions? Seeing none?
Councilman McDaniel.
Aye.
Councilman Horn.
Aye.
Councilman Colt.
Aye.
Councilman Cooper.
Aye.
Councilwoman Gregory.
Aye.
Councilwoman Cruz.
Aye.
Mayor Moore-Wolf.
Aye.
7 ayes, no nays.
Does anyone on council have other business they'd like to bring before the body this evening? Seeing none, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Councilman McDaniel.
Aye.
Councilman Horn.
Aye.
Councilman Colt.
Aye.
Councilman Cooper.
Aye.
Councilwoman Gregory.
Aye.
Councilwoman Cruz.
Aye.
Mayor Moore-Wolf.
Aye.
7 ayes, no nays. We are adjourned.